live Q&A webinar today. My name is Danny. I'll be giving you the webinar. Please confirm before we begin. I would like to make sure that everybody can see the screen here and hear me properly. So please, if you can confirm in the question section that you can see the screen here and hear me properly, that would be good. Perfect. Can everybody here see? Let's just open up. Very good. Can everybody see the screen here, the chart? Okay, let me try and see what the problem might be. Just a second. What about, is it better now? Can everybody see the chart now? Okay. Okay, let's see it. All right. Salia, do you have a question? I saw that you rose your hand. All right, so it seems like we are good to begin. Feel free, by the way, to use the question section to ask anything you want. So the purpose for this webinar is a live Q&A webinar. As I said in the beginning, the purpose here is to give you guys space to ask any kind of questions all along the webinar. So feel free to do so. You can type it down, and I will get to your question accordingly. We're gonna show. Let's just open up. Okay. We're gonna show the disclosure here while I will check that everything is recorded as it's supposed to be, and only then we will begin. So any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only and should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, recommendation, or a suggestion. Okay, feel free to keep reading it while I'm checking that everything is recorded as it's supposed to be, and then we will begin. So I'll be right back. All right, so let's begin with a quick explanation. Danny, as I said in the beginning, my name is Danny. Feel free to ask whatever you want, Roger. And welcome to the webinar. Welcome also, Peter. Welcome, Frank. I think it's the second or the third time I see you. Very good. All right, so we're going to begin with a common question. The agenda for this webinar is to begin with a common question that we have. I did not change because we got similar questions in the other webinars. I did not change the common question that we have from previous webinars. Therefore, we're going to do it quickly with to this webinar as well. Okay, so the common question from previous webinars, then we're going to have dynamic questions that you guys will ask and I will address. And then on the third part, we're going to have links, information, webinars, privileges that there is a surprise at the end of it. Some of you obviously were in the previous webinar and you know that I'm going to give you at the end of the webinar a voucher for a personal market review with a senior account manager. So it's worth to stay a while and get yourself the code. All right. Then if we'll have time, so analysis and obviously open discussion. This will be the treat. This will be the cherry on top of this pie. Now we're gonna begin, like I said, with a common question. Is there anything else? Let's see if there are more questions here. Leverage, yes, very common. Calculations, yes. Okay, all right. So the questions that I have at a moment are in some way they are very similar to the questions that I already have written here. This is why I'm not gonna put it down. Okay, I'm only gonna put down questions that does not correlate with the questions that we have here. Okay, that they will be different, and I can contribute something new. All right, so can AvaTrade trade for me? The answer is no, but we have other solutions like auto trading, right? That would be Zulu Trade, Dupli Trade, and AvaSocial. So I'm gonna show you now I'm gonna show you on the platform. I'm gonna show you an example of how it works. All right, so as always, we're gonna pretend we are new traders. We have absolutely no idea how to do anything, what's happening around us. So we're just gonna look at the chart and try to think how we can do it on the best. Let's just bring up Notepad. All right, so we think what would be the best way to start moving with the platform. Now, the most obvious thing is to look at somebody who is trading and to just, if he succeeds, so just to do the same thing as he is. Hopefully we can succeed as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put here Platinum, and then we're gonna put here Zulu Trade, Dupli Trade, and we're gonna put here AvaSocial. To give you a bit background about how AvaSocial works, so obviously AvaSocial, exactly as it sounds, it's a social media kind of a platform. You have other traders there that you can follow, and you have other traders there that you can copy. Okay, you can just link your account to somebody else's account, and then you enjoy a variety kind of strategies. You can just decide to to follow somebody else because he's more successful, and that's it. You just do it in a click of a button. Now, this is a human being that you follow, human, right? Human being, and then you have Zulu Trade. That is, just a second. Another question here. Okay, great. But this is all right. Maybe I will paste it. Maybe I will paste it. Okay, so we're gonna put by Charlie, we're gonna put your question. I'm just gonna fix the typos here, if you don't mind. Okay. Okay. I hope that this is what you meant. It just written a bit differently, so I corrected the typos. All right, so we have automated trading. We said Zulu. We have two types. We have an AI, artificial intelligence, which is a programmed software. Right? Programmed software, which is self-designed. Somebody just programmed a software. I will explain in a second what kind of conditions it could have. And then we have a human beings that it's not really a software that is automated. It's just somebody who is actively trading, and we are followed. Okay, it's a bit different. It's a bit different. An AI is going to base itself as an example. Let's suppose platinum correlate with the dollar or with another currencies, and we design that if the dollar is going up, as an example, so platinum can go down. So we would take a position down as an example. We're going to take a sell. If the dollar is going to go higher, so we're going to take a sell, and obviously if the dollar is going to go lower, so we're going to take a buy. Again, it's an example. But again, it's an AI. It doesn't have the intelligence to make the difference whether something fundamental happened in the market. It does not. It just apply itself based on something else. Okay, based on another asset perhaps. Now let's move on. So Dupli Trade and Zulu Trade, just to be on the, this is an AI. Zulu Trade. Dupli Trade is like Ava Social, human being. All right, two differences. I'm not gonna say here, I'm not gonna state whether a human being is preferred on an AI, because a human being can make decisions that sometimes are not wise, and an AI could make, and then an AI cannot make judgment whether we have perhaps another variant of COVID, just as an example, another, God knows, war or something like that. She does not. The program is programmed based on numbers. Okay, those are the differences. So, can AvaTrade trade for the client? The answer is no, but we have other solutions like this. How can I use AvaProtect? Well, this is super simple. I'm just going to show it to you. Right, so AvaProtect, for those who don't know, just going to put here AvaProtect. All right, the idea is I can cover the position for a certain time frame, and obviously if I lost money coverage, I will get my losses back. Therefore, when I mark the box here on AvaProtect, when I mark the box, it let me choose the time. So from 1 hour to 2 days is an example, maybe even 1 day. And then according to the quantity that I have, the fee is going to cost. So now 172 become 205 if it's 2 days. And then if I increase it to half a lot, it's going to cost much more. Right? Again, decrease the time. It's going to go down accordingly. Then I'm going to choose, as an example, possible profit is going to be, are we with a buy? Yes. Okay, it's going to be, let's say, right? And then we have this guy, we're going to turn it into, all right? So in this example, if I took a buy with silver now and it truly moved half a dollar, sorry. So what's going to happen is, result is going to be, what I'm going to see is going to be 172. It will be the fee here. The cost maybe, right? So minus 172. Then I'm going to see if I made profits. So obviously I'm going to see plus 60/40, right? Profits. If I have made profits, and if I've made losses, I'm going to see and then I'm going to see plus, right? Because if I use AvaProtect, I'm going to get my losses back, and by getting my losses back, that means that I've paid a fee of 172, and I'm going to get back $680 back. Okay, returned. All right, are there any questions regarding AvaProtect at this point? Is that clear, guys? I need either a confirmation for more people or a question, because this way I don't know whether it's understood or not. All right, Richard, very good. All right, Sahila, I think I saw you I saw you yesterday on the webinar. So far, so good. I'm happy about that. Let's carry on. Showed on the platform. Right, how to use indicators. So we're gonna pick, I think last time we played with ATR, average true movement, and today we're gonna go with Bollinger Bands. That does almost the same thing. Just show it to you on the chart. So why not offer overprotect for all assets? I am not getting into management decisions. Okay, I'm gonna put your question down so everybody can see. But instead of it, I'm gonna write down. I'm gonna like Boris. I'm gonna rewrite your question, and I'm gonna put it instead of why not. What assets can we use Ava Protect with? Because I'm not getting into management decisions. Whether they want to add more assets or not, it's up to them. At this point. All right. So how to use indicators? Basically, if I want to place Bollinger Bands, all I did, to be frank, is I just clicked on Studies. Then I clicked here on Bollinger Bands, click and drag. Then I click Save, and it appears. I can change the colors if I want. Make it all, I don't know, blue, then yellow and red, just as an example, right? It's easier for me. Then we have the middle line, we have the bottom line, we have the upper line. This would simulate as if it goes to parallel with the resistance. Would be the parallel with the support. As you can see, the line here are going to change while I'm changing the time frame, right? Looks completely different. Now we have an uptrend, three very bearish candles, and then a bullish one. Now we're looking at a bullish trend, so it looks different. Right here we can find, give or take, the average price that it's been through in the past few days. If I change it to weeks, so the average price that it's been through in the past few weeks, which is 20, okay, 0.3. I'm gonna state here something very important, guys. Indicators can contribute more analysis. It has another layer of analysis. Okay, a lot of new clients thinks that indicators are magical. It's not the case, right? It's not the case. Indicators can be wrong. Okay, they only indicate. They don't. They don't make a prophecy, right? Nobody can say, "I'm using an indicator. 100% I'm going to be on the money." It's true. Richard saying using too many is too confusing more than not better. Yes, basically to use too many indicators, it's just gonna create. Let me just show you how it looks. Some of the beginners, their screen looks like this. Yeah. How can we even remember? Obviously, if I'm doing it separately, I can use all of those together at where I am. But as a new person, why do you need all of those things? Why do you need? There is no need to exaggerate. All right, this is also showing this how can I make withdrawal. This is something that is also very common, which I get almost all the time. How can I withdraw? Look how simple that thing is, right? Just gonna click here on the 3 lines. Then I'm gonna click here on withdrawal. Okay, and now I'm gonna choose. We're gonna give it a moment. Well, how unfortunate. Let's try it again. Well, this is obviously a simulating account, so I can't withdraw from the demo. If you guys will try to withdraw from the demo, this will not work. Just a second, let's see if I can. Never mind, never mind. But the idea is that you click here on withdrawal. Okay, there's supposed to be a screen here. Let me see if I can fix it real quick. Never mind. It seems it would be nice if we could. Well, that depends for who. That depends for who. You can withdraw if you could the withdraw from the demo. That would be very very amusing. All right, so this is also shown on the screen. Obviously, I'm not going to show you the whole process of how to withdraw. There is no point because we saw when we click on withdrawal, it doesn't open up the nice interface that we had last week because this is a demo. All right, but this is where withdrawal is. It's very simple. You just click it and it opens. What is margin call? Margin call is where, let's say, before the account can't comply to the margin impact or requirement, right? So what happens is we get a margin call. So for instance, if we're gonna open up wheat, we're gonna look now at wheat as if we had what balance? We have 10,000. We're gonna make it 2 lots, and then we're gonna make it, let's say, $20 up. And let's say, are we with the buy? Yes. And approximately $50 down. Let's make it even half away. Right. So I'm gonna put here the numbers. Value. So to explain to you how margin call works, why one of the most common questions that I get is why, Danny, why the hell would I need to know about leverage and about margin and who cares about those things? Let me explain to you something very important, guys. The analysis that you put time and effort and you read online and you're doing the research and you're funding your account, everything comes down to one simple thing. And that simple thing is to be able to sustain the position until it get profits. And I'm going to say this because we are trading what we called CFDs, or contract for difference. And by that, we are well aware, okay, that those positions needs time to get the profits. Sometimes it's a moment, sometimes it's a few minutes, sometimes it's few hours, days, or weeks, right? We have different strategies. And then for every strategy, okay, you need to make sure that you're able to comply to the margin level, okay? What happens if I can't? Let's see together. Okay, the value here, that's 169, 8. Right, leverage here is, we're gonna find out in a moment. $33. Possible loss is 4,700. All right, Shisha, you're asking how long should I sustain the positions, right? If you can elaborate, how long, that depends on the plan. How long you should sustain the positions that depend on the plan. You can sustain the position for a week, you can hold it for a week, or you can hold it for a day. Okay, please explain. Oh, okay. So what's the best time frame to trade, you mean? You mean what kind of strategy to use? A short-term strategy, long-term strategy? Okay, so your question is actually not how long, but let's say what's what strategy to use, or maybe what time frame is the best time frame to trade, perhaps, right? Gonna put it here. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. No, but I'm trying to be as precise as I can, because to explain how long to sustain everybody can sustain how long that they want. Okay, so the possible loss here is 4,000. Let's bring it up a little more so we can make it happen. All right, so we have $10,000. This position is gonna cost us $5,000 margin. It's not gonna cost 169, because if it would, I wouldn't even be able to take the position in the first place, right? Now, let's suppose we took the position here. We now have the account up and running. $5,000 is withdrawn out of the margin, and now the margin level is 10%, right? 10%. Why is the margin level 10%? And let me ask you, this is a hypothetical number. It's not exactly, I can't measure the margin level in my head, but I want to give you a picture. Now, at this point, when I have $10,000 and the margin cost was $5,000, okay, why? But by the way, if I multiply 200 units, 200 bushels of wheat, it's supposed to cost 100 and almost $70,000. How it can cost me only 5,000 when the actual price with the actual value is 170,000? Can anybody explain it to me? How is it possible that I'm gonna go to the shop and buy myself a new cell phone that costs $5,000 with a single thousand in my pocket? How can I even do that? Okay, thank you, Shisha. Thank you, Richard. More people. How can I even do that? How it's possible for me to buy something with 5,000 that cost 170,000? More people. More people leverage. Okay. Okay, very good. Very good. Thanks to the leverage. Now, thanks to the leverage, I'm able to. Now, the question is, how much can I stretch thanks to the leverage? Is $5,000. I need my account to stay with $5,000 available margin to be able to sustain the position. It's understood. Now, before I changed it, I was supposed to lose 4,300. That means, hypothetically, again, if I have 10 and I lost, I didn't lose yet. My position is losing 4,300. I am left with 5,700 margin. Okay? Can I keep my position open? Look, I have to comply to this. Salia, I'm going to show it to you in a second. In a second, I'm going to show you how can I calculate the leverage. But I like your question so much. Maybe I've done it too fast. I'm going to paste it on the right. I'm going to show it to you in a second, Salia. Shisha, don't worry. I didn't forget you. Okay. But first, this is the question at the moment, because I want to wrap it up with the questions here. What is margin call? Margin call is when I before the account can comply to the margin level, right, to the margin impact, and then obviously I get a phone call stating, listen, I have to do something with the margin. Now, we have $10,000 in balance. We took the position. Unfortunately, we lost. We didn't lose. Again, we are potentially losing 4,300. We are left with 5,700. My question to you, guys, is the position can stay opened? I would like to receive an answer to that. I need to comply to 5. I have 5.7 still available margin. Can I sustain the position? Yes. Okay. How yes? Because I have 700 more. I have 700 more, right? 700. Not 700, but I have more margin, right? What if I do this? And then what happens? Look, I'm looking at here, 5,300. Can I still hold a position? Can I still have the position opened? Look, I have to comply to this. I have to be able to fulfill this. And this is what I'm left with. Can I still do that? No. But this is the point that it's called margin call. Margin call is when I'm going to be alarmed that my margin is getting close to a point that I can sustain my position. And what I have to do in this case, is I have a few options. Let me put here, how can I make myself more margin? Okay, I have an answer here from the audience. Option 1, put more funds. What else can I do? What else can I do, guys? Reducing the leverage is not something that we do. On the contrary, if I reduce the margin, If I sorry, if I reduce the leverage, just to understand, okay, just to understand, the higher the leverage, the lower my margin requirement is, okay. And Salia asked to calculate the leverage. I'm going to show it to you now because it's important to the question that has been asked now. How can I? Okay, it's already written. How to calculate the leverage. Let's do it together. Okay, let's do it together. I take 169,650 divided by 50,89. I divide value by margin impact. I get 133. How can I be sure that this is the right, that I'm right? I'm gonna go to wheat. I'm gonna click here on the I, and then I'm gonna see that the leverage here is 1 to 33. Salia, is that clear? Is that understood? Okay. Okay. Right. Tobias, you're asking me what do I need the leverage for? Okay. What do I need the leverage for? I'm gonna ask you back. Can I afford just let me ask you this. Can I even have this position without leverage? Can I I'm not necessarily listen. For instance, if I have $10,000 and I wanted to buy, I don't know, this much, 10 bushels, I don't need the leverage, right? It's gonna cost me $8,000 out of my balance, but I don't need the leverage. I don't have to use the leverage, right? If I want to take 10 bushels, but to already to if I increase it to 0.2 to 20 bushels, I already need the leverage. Otherwise, I can't buy it without leverage or sell it without leverage in that matter. Okay. All right. So the options, the first options, if I am in a margin call now, somebody's calling me. Listen, your position is about to die. I have to defibrillate. Okay. I can add more funds. Beautiful. What else can I do? I can close other positions as an option, as an example. If I close other positions, I might be able to free up margin. Yeah? Remember, to occupy a position cost margin. To be able to sustain the position cost margin. If I have another 5 position like this, I'm already 2,500 margin is being used while I'm having the position, regardless if they're going to make profits or loss. Is this understood? Okay. All right. All right. So what did we have? So how can I use? This is by, I think, Shisha. You asked about the assets. Okay. What assets can we use? So this one is easy. Gold, silver, currencies, right? Sorry, currencies. What is the best time frame to trade? This is strategies. I'm gonna explain it in a second. This is Salia. This is I showed. Actually, I'll be nice and Okay, so for instance, I have something that costs $100,000. If I'm gonna divide $100,000 by 5,000, sorry, so that's 1 to 20, right? Is this understood? How is margin impact calculated? Margin impact is calculated exactly the same way that margin leverage is calculated, but the other way around. Yeah. So in other words, if my leverage is 1 to 10, as an example, so let's suppose my margin here would have been 1 to 10. So something that cost 40,000 would cost me 4,000. Let me see if I can show it to you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look, the value here is 9.9, almost 10,000. Margin impact is 993. Is this understood? Is this all right? Does it make sense? See, value is this. Margin impact is that. If we're going to see Tesla, the leverage is 1 to 10. Yeah? Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Okay, so this one we got covered. This one we got covered. This is what we're going to discuss now. The best time to trade. This is strategies. Right? And what we're going to do now, actually, I think I can, how can I choose my first asset to trade? This is also strategies. Okay, this is what time frame is the best, depend on the plan. And this is also that depend on the plan. And I'm gonna explain to you in a second what do I mean by that. Let's suppose I want to make with wheat, let's suppose I want to make, I don't know, $1,000 a week. Yeah, not with wheat. Let's suppose some other assets. I want to make $1,000 a week. Can this be done with any asset? The answer is yes. Can it be done with any asset? I'm gonna show it to you now with wheat. Now wheat is at 2. Sorry, this is definitely not wheat. Okay, I want to make $1,000 a week. How can how can I do that? All right, so in this case, we're going to look at weeks. I'm not going to get down to analysis. We don't have time for that at the moment. Okay, wheat is adding up by, now it's 846. Let's suppose I want to make $1,000 a week. The most basic thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put one lot, and I'm going to make a difference of $10, 55 to 65. Sorry. 45. Yeah. We're going to make it as precise as we can. Perhaps. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I want to make $1,000 a week. So in this case, we're looking at weekly candles. This is 486, $10 up. So we said we're gonna multiply. What is the goal? 1,000, right? We take 100 units, 100 units, one lot, 100 units, multiply by movements. We don't have the movements. How can we get the movements? We're gonna divide the goal. What is the goal? 1,000 a week divided by, I'm just gonna put it here so you guys can see. So goal divided by units. How many units? Equals, how much is this? How much movement do I need, guys? How much movements do I need to make 1,000? How much is 1,000 divided by 100? Right? 10. So when I put it 10, 846 become 856 because of the spread. I turn it to a dollar up, but still $1,000, right? So what is the best? We're now looking at two questions. How can I choose my first asset to trade, and what is the time? What time frame is the best? Is the best time to trade? And if I want to make $1,000, I need to make it realistic with my balance. For instance, if I want to do it, I need to consider, look here at the stop loss. See, $900 is my potential loss. This is 10% of my balance, which makes it extremely dangerous. Because if I would have done this and I take it another $10 down, I'm already wiping 20% of my capital. So I need to keep it to a point that it's realistic. For instance, if I decrease it by 10%, I maybe make less, but I also lose less, right? In other words, I need to choose the time frame that is realistic with what I'm expecting. How much can wheat potentially move? We're not gonna do a full scale analysis. We definitely don't have time for that. But if wheat can potentially move $23 on average according to this indicator, right? And I think that it can move 23 in a day, and I'm looking to make 1,000 in a week. I need to do the proper calculations for that. I cannot make judgment and say the best time frame to trade is a month. To hold my position a month, or the best time frame to trade is 5 minutes. I need to close an open position every 5 minutes or every hour. The best time frame to trade is 1 hour. No, it doesn't work like this. It's more dynamic. I need to do it works in layers. First, I need to know where I'm aiming for. Is it 1,000 a week? Is it 1,000 a month? Is it 100 a day? I need to choose. After I choose, I need to examine the market and see what asset can comply to my, because it depends on the price as well, right? What asset can comply to my ambitions? For instance, if I'm gonna pick up, I'm with $10,000, right? If I'm gonna take Nasdaq, right? And I want to trade one lot of Nasdaq with $10,000, that's already 60% of my margin is just to get into the position, right? So if I change the price here by 100, I can lose the account. Yeah, I can lose the account. I lose the account in a day because the position is very big. So perhaps I need to because this question, why am I taking it so extreme? Because that depends on the plan. Those questions are amazing. I'm not saying it from a bad place. I want to help you guys, but how can I choose my first asset? That depends on the plan. That depends what is the best asset. That depends on the balance, and that depends on the goals that you are planning to make. What is the best time frame to trade? That depends how much time you have, sir. That depends. For instance, I can trade 5, 6 hours a day. Can you do that? No, you can only trade once a week. So what is the best time frame to trade? The time frame that suits to the plan that you are making, and the time frame that you can dedicate into trading. So those questions are questions for an individual called senior account manager that assist with a plan and make a plan, a strategy that gather up all of those elements: time, balance, ambitions, assets, priorities. Priorities. For instance, if I can make the same amount of money with what did we had yesterday? Palladium, right? Palladium, right? A unit of palladium cost $2,000. A unit of platinum cost, right, half, less than half. So it's all a matter of priorities. There is no best. There is efficient, more efficient, and less efficient. But it's very liquid. It's very okay. It's very dynamic. It's very difficult to just decide one thing. It's more dynamic. But your question, the intention is good. I mean, the intention, the question is good for itself. We have another 5 minutes, and we have another question for a less lucky individual. Do we have another question before we? But the question that we did not address. Do we have another question? Okay, I'm gonna share with you the link. I'm gonna share with you guys the links for our platforms in the chat section. Okay, this one leads to the AvaGo. This one is for you guys to log in and make the deposit. People who still have the account and demo and want to have a real account. So you can finally click on the link and make your real account, activate it, make a deposit. This is for the academy that we have. Okay, and this is what I've promised in the beginning: one-on-one premium market review with a senior account manager. So obviously, when you make a deposit and you activate the account, you can give this code, okay, to the live chat or to your registration agent, and in the registration department, and the registration agent can assign you with a senior account manager. Okay, it's an amazing privilege. We have a few minutes, so I'm just on a nutshell. I'm gonna explain a little about those things. So this candle here and this candle here, those tails are signs for retracement. This is the tail that the asset is. As you can see, the candle here is green. That means that this starting point, let me see if I can be more precise. There is a starting point and there is an end point, right? So the starting point, the bottom price, is where the asset has started, where it started to move. It went down. How do I book the meeting with the account manager? Like I said, you need to give the code Q&A benefit that I wrote down in the chat. After you make a deposit, you contact the live chat. The live chat after you log to your account. If you log to your account, you have a live chat here, right? You see the live chat here, and in the live chat, chat with us. You can ask for an account manager. You can ask for an account manager. Which analysis create a trading central report? If you click here and you go to Trading Central, you can find here uh, the Trading Central ideas. Okay. Now, as I was explaining, this candle here is this is the opening for the candle. So this kind of candle, it means it went down and then it went up and then it ended on that price. In other words, this is start and this would be the end. This will be why is it important? Why am I wasting our precious time in the next last few minutes to show you this? Because this is one of the most important things that there are in trading. Entry. Entry, this is a personal. Can I get in touch with one of them? Again, ask. Karian, you're asking for something that is more personal than me giving you a solution through this webinar. Do the same as I told before. Go to the live chat, ask a senior account manager, and ask your senior account manager to assist you with this because this is a bit more personal matter. I can't practically help you now. Now we have the beginning. Like I said, it went down, got rejected, went up, it got rejected, but eventually it ended in a higher price, and this is why it's green. This is the same idea. Yeah. The difference is that it's red. That means that it started from high, it started from high, it went up, and then it went down, got rejected, it ended up lower. Because it ended up lower than the entry, makes it negative. All right, guys, we didn't have a lot of time for the analysis because we had to answer questions that were essential for the audience, which is the purpose for this webinar. And this is why I'm happy, even though I didn't explain about analysis, but it's not the purpose of this webinar. Purpose of this webinar is a live Q&A webinar, which we have done, and I think it was remarkable. It's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you all for coming this week. I'm gonna, unfortunately, I'm gonna be in a conference that will avoid me from giving you the webinar for next week, either the live Q&A and the Ultimate Forex webinars for beginners. So next week we're not gonna have those kind of webinars. I'm sorry in advance, but still we're gonna see you in 2 weeks. In the meantime, hope all of you make a lot of money. It's been a pleasure to be with you today, and that's it. Best of luck and have a good day.